releasing human conditioning and tuning ourselves with the energy of infinite possibilities. Yes! This video is something that was requested by a couple of people in my personal life, and it's really relevant to my life right now because I'm currently heading back home to my hometown, and you know, every time I'm about to head back to my hometown, it's a little bit challenging, okay? So as you can guess, based on the title of this video is all about how to live your truth, especially when your surroundings, the place you are at, the people you are around, okay, don't necessarily align with that truth. And that, for me, with my family, we don't really have the same perspectives on most things in life. And so every time I'm about to be around them for a given period of time, it can be very challenging, and a lot of karmic impressions just coming up to the surface, okay, for me to release. And it's not always easy, but I have a few things that I do to help me just stay centered, stay grounded, and not get sucked into conflict with these people, because I love them, you know, whether or not we see eye to eye on most things. They're still my family, and I still love them, and I still appreciate them, but I gotta protect my peace, okay? And here's how I be doing that. So point number one that I wanted to share with you guys here is prayer. I've been praying so much more lately. I mean, I've always prayed every day throughout my spiritual path. Even as a child, you know, I was raised Catholic, so my parents raised me to pray. But, you know, this is a different kind of prayer now, with like my awareness of spirituality beyond religion. But if you want to see more about that, I have a video on my channel where I compare religion versus spirituality, but yeah, that's a whole other video. I pray every day. I've always done that, but recently I've been praying so much more because I just love the idea of walking with God, okay? Hand in hand, allowing the divine to guide you rather than allowing your mind to guide you. And prayer is essentially reaching out to the divine. And if you can do that, especially right at the beginning of the day and right at the end of the day before you go to sleep, you can ask the divine to help you stay grounded, to help you stay centered, to help you remain present whenever something in your surroundings, someone or something in your surroundings is challenging you or trying to pull you out of this centered, peaceful space within yourself. And a lot of times, like when someone is doing that, they're not doing it maliciously, they're doing it unconsciously. You know, we live in a world where, unfortunately, people's worldviews literally provide them a sense of self, they provide them with a sense of identity. And so it's understandable why they want to defend that and why they feel personally attacked when you don't share their perspectives, when you don't share their worldviews with them. They think that you're attacking them personally because their worldview is their self-image, right? And so praying every day and asking the divine to help you stay grounded, to help you stay present, to help you be an anchor of love, even in those moments when someone may be attacking you or trying to convince you to see things how they see them, is such a powerful tool, because you can pray at any time, like even in the moment. You know, the last time I was around my family, of course it was a full moon too, and I was just having a very unhealthy conversation with one of my family members, and there was so many thoughts coming up of how I just wanted to defend myself. But I think because I had just come from like a month of serious, deep spiritual work, I just breathed, you know, and I just prayed in that moment while this conversation was happening. I just prayed to God. I'm like, God, please help me not to get sucked into this. God, please help me to just remain present, to just let her say what she wants to say, and to just not take any of this personally, because it has nothing to do with me and everything to do with her, you know. And it was so freeing because she was expecting a specific reaction out of me, because hey, you know, grand fire trying on my chart, y'all, I be fiery sometimes, but I'm learning how to just keep that in check and just use that fire energy for creativity rather than reactivity, and just reaching out and praying. Like, I could feel God just giving me that strength. I could feel my angels surround me and just tell me, you're okay, you're okay, this has nothing to do with you, just let it be, it is what it is. And prayer is powerful, okay? It's an amazing tool that's always at your disposal. You don't need to buy anything, you don't need to spend any money to pray, okay? You just, all you need is yourself and your heart, and you're good to go. Number 2, being consistent with your spiritual practices. That is so important, especially when you are currently surrounded by a place, people, things, whatever, energies that don't align with your truth, okay? Practicing spirituality is so important because it brings you back to your center. It brings you back to your true self, okay? It brings you back to peace. It brings you back to inner peace, okay? And that inner peace is essentially what's gonna help you remain true to yourself, especially when you're surrounded by things that don't align with your truth, okay? And so take the time, okay? You don't have to do 3 hours of yoga every single day just to remain centered, but take some time, especially when you are in this space that's so not aligned with you. You need to be consistent with your spiritual practices. You need to you need to check in with yourself, okay? You need to take the time to release the energies that are bouncing at you from this surrounding area that doesn't align with your truth. And it's, again, you don't need you don't need to spend money to do this. You just need to, all you need is yourself. All you need is the intention to reconnect, the intention to get away from the mind, get back into the heart, and then you're good to go. That energy will carry you through any experiences or encounters with people, places, and things that don't align with your truth. Next up, get comfortable being on your own, because sometimes that's also what you just need, is to step away, okay? When it's starting to get a bit intense, okay? If someone's starting to get defensive, if someone's starting to kind of attack you, then it's time to take a step back, because it's better to remove yourself than to allow yourself to get sucked into conflict. Protecting your peace is always going to be really important. And this comes back to self-love. This ties in with self-love, okay? You need to love yourself enough to know when a situation is just not serving you, and to be strong enough to just lovingly say to whoever it is that you're currently dealing with that, you know what, I don't feel like this conversation, this situation, this moment, this experience, I don't feel like this is serving me or you. And so respectfully, lovingly, I'm gonna have to remove myself. And just remove yourself, okay? It's always gonna be better to just go take some time on your own, release that energy, okay? Instead of taking that out on someone and creating a new karmic impression that you're gonna have to release someday in the future, okay? I talk a little bit about karmic impressions in my video about rock bottom, so you can check that out. But just take a beat, you know, tell the person, I just need a minute. Go to a space where it's just you alone, and you can kind of just like scream if you need to, okay? Just to like shake that energy off, instead of taking it out on this person and then just like, you know, activating each other's pain bodies and getting sucked into just toxic conflict that's unnecessary. So boundaries, yes, boundaries ties into what I'm saying here, okay? Just knowing when someone has just crossed the line, and just having that boundary, honoring that boundary, and doing it in a loving, respectful way. That's always really important, because you want to be an anchor of love. You don't want to allow people's unconsciousness to suck you back into unconsciousness. You want to be that example, you know, you want to show these people how what true unconditional love means, okay? And so a lot of times that means that you can express your boundaries without being disrespectful. Even if the person may be disrespecting you, that doesn't give you a reason to disrespect them back, okay? Their choice to disrespect you begins and ends with them. And if you choose to match that energy, then now that's on you. You're going to have to take responsibility for doing that. But if you can be strong enough to just remain rooted in love no matter what, then you continue to uphold that frequency. And so you just continue to rise and rise and rise and rise above any situation, because you're choosing to let love be your guide. You know, that's powerful stuff. I just wanted to clarify as well that having strong boundaries doesn't mean that now I don't love you, you know? Like, unconditional love means it's unconditional, but you can love someone from a distance. And if sometimes, in order to respect and honor your own boundaries, you need to be away from certain people, then take that time, be away from them, you know? Like, for me, I definitely enjoy being away from my family for extended periods of time, and it helps me love them more. It helps me appreciate them more, and it helps me accept them for who they are more than if I'm just around them all the time, because sometimes it can be dense, it can be heavy. And if I've taken some time away, like now it's been over 6 months since I saw my family, and as I prepare to see them again, I'm coming in a bit more like, woo, I missed you guys. And not like, oh, I can't do this, you know? So again, honor those boundaries and remind yourself that having boundaries and drawing a line between, you know, protecting your peace and getting sucked into unnecessary toxicity doesn't mean that you don't love someone. It just means that you love yourself enough to love this person from a distance. Radical honesty is another major key when it comes to living your truth when your surroundings do not match that frequency, because sometimes you just have to be honest. If something is really not it for you, you need to be honest with this person in that moment. Don't let it fester. Don't let it simmer in your insides. You know, don't let that shit become part of your shadow, because we don't need that, okay? We're trying to release, we're trying to embrace, we're trying to bring light to the shadows, not create more shadows, okay? So be honest, be open, but remember, be loving about it. We're not here to condemn people. We're not here to shame people. We're not here to guilt people into seeing things how we see them. But we can be honest about how something affects us and how something feels in our personal experience of that thing. And so instead of, when you're being radically honest with someone, instead of saying you, just say, for me, this specific experience comes off in this certain way, and for me, I prefer not to involve myself in certain things like this. And just explain yourself rather than pointing fingers at someone else. This one's really big. You need to learn how to detach from other people's opinions and other people's behavior, and remind yourself that it has nothing to do with you, and you have no reason to take any of that personally, because it really does have nothing to do with you. As we've kind of tapped on this a little bit throughout this video, but I just want to drive this one point home, because it's really important to remember that if it seems as though someone is attacking you, it actually has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them defending their identity, their sense of self. And if you can just allow them to do that without taking it personally, then you can remain detached, okay? You can remain impartial to whatever is unfolding in front of you without allowing yourself to get sucked into it. And if you're taking it personally, then it means you yourself are also identifying with that, with how this person sees you, okay? And someone's image of you has nothing to do with who you actually are. Who you are is beyond that. Someone's image of you has everything to do with them and their perspective on life. And if you can always remind yourself that, you can really have the strength and the ability to remain detached, to remain impartial, and again to be loving with these people and to accept them for where they are, you know, to be the bigger person and just like not get sucked into their drama, to remain present, to remain conscious, to remain aware of what's in front of you. And when you are present, when you are conscious, when you are rooted in awareness, then you will truly always have the ability to separate yourself from someone else's image of you and to see that that image that they've created of you in their minds is just a reflection of their own mind and has nothing to do with who you actually are. And so you have nothing to defend here. You have no reason to snap back or to start, you know, trying to mirror what is being thrown at you. And I think that's what really, in conclusion, just to summarize this whole video, is to stay grounded in love, okay? To stay grounded in love, and you can do that in all these ways we've outlined in this video, starting from prayer, okay, asking God to help you stay grounded in love, okay, coming into your spiritual practices, using these practices to help you stay grounded in love, and of course detaching, remaining detached from whatever it is in your surroundings that doesn't align with the truth of who you are. And if you can remain detached, if you can remain present, you can actually be an example. You can be that one breath of fresh air in the room, because you're not coming down to a lower frequency to meet people where they are. You're remaining at your higher frequency and just being that example of presence, of peace, of love. And I think that's truly what we're here to do. So I love you guys. That's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, I really appreciate you. Drop a comment, okay, if there's something else that I didn't mention that you do personally in your life to stay grounded in your truth whenever your surroundings don't match it. I would love to hear it. I would love to hear more from you. And of course, give this video a like if it, you know, helped you out in any way, because it helps the channel and helps this stuff reach more people who may need some of this. So yeah, thank you so much. And as always, take what resonates and leave what does not, because at the end of the day, you are the creator of your reality. Stay blessed, y'all. Stay infinite.